Hey guys, before we get into the prime rib cook, I just wanted to take a few moments here and talk to you about how much I appreciate all of you guys. Here not too long ago, Big W BBQ passed over 200 subscribers. If there's something that I can probably assume about you, that is that time is a limited resource. And the fact that you guys take, 5, 10, 15 minutes out of your guys' busy schedule just to watch my videos means so much. I know there's some of you out there that watch my videos consistently every time I post. I can't tell you how much that means to me. Now, I'm not intending to leave anyone out here, but there are 3 other YouTubers who are consistently one of the first people to post on my videos. I just want to say a quick thanks to Meathead, Lassie's Food and Barbecue, as well as Heavy Metal Barbecue. Now, these guys have great channels themselves. I definitely encourage you guys to go check them out when you have a chance. There are a few other channels that consistently post as well, but I'll save that shout out for another video. Thanks so much to each and every one of you guys who watch my videos on a regular basis. I know there's a few people that I personally know that have told me this, and I greatly appreciate that as well. So I don't want to take up any more of your time. Let's go ahead and get right into this prime rib roast. Thanks again, guys. You rock. Welcome to Big W BBQ. My name is Nate. Today, we're going to be smoking up some prime rib. Thanks a lot for hanging out with me here today. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, a special welcome to you. So like I mentioned, today we're going to be cooking up a prime rib. One quick tidbit I just wanted to add to this video is that if you were to order this cut of meat at a restaurant, it would be referred to as prime rib. However, technically this cut of meat is actually called a rib roast or a ribeye roast. Technically, if you were to call this a prime rib, this meat would have to be classified as prime. However, you're most likely going to find a choice rib roast. However, if you do have the option of buying the prime cut, it may be worthwhile. It's going to cost you a little bit more, but the flavor is going to be that much better. I've got about a 3.5 pound rib roast here. The roast here that I got today is boneless, and that was primarily due just because of a sale that they had going on at my grocery store. However, if you have the option of buying them with the ribs attached to it, definitely do that. It gives it just a little bit more flavor. However, just for the ease of use, there's nothing wrong with going with a boneless cut. The first thing I did with this roast is I just went ahead and let it hang out on the counter for an hour, hour and a half, just to kind of raise that temperature up closer to room temp. From there, I went ahead and rinsed this off in the sink just to kind of clean it up a little bit, and that's when I brought it over here to my cutting board. So one thing you may notice here on your roast is that there is a big chunk of fat here right on this side. You're more than welcome to leave this fat on if you like. However, this fat here is really hard and it's not going to break down through this cook. For me personally, I'm going to end up cutting it off and not eating it. So instead of just doing that, I'm going to go ahead and trim that off now. As you can see here as I cut it open, this thing's got a lot of fat into it. And if you could feel this here, it's really tough. I'm not going to discard this right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add this here to my dripping pan. What that's going to do while it cooks is it's going to kind of break and add some flavor here to my drippings. I'll get to this here in a little while here, but what I'm going to be doing with these drippings is I'm going to be making a nice au jus sauce. Another option would be you could go ahead and use those drippings for gravy. Then from there, I'm just going to kind of trim up some of this fat here. If you could feel this here, you'd be able to tell that it's really hard and it's not going to cook very well. Now I know there are some people that really love this fat, and if that's you, by all means, go ahead and leave that on there. However, my preference is just to go ahead and get rid of that. I'm going to go ahead and remove any silver skin here as well. This doesn't render down either, it just kind of becomes kind of chewy. Perfect, now we got this thing all nice and trimmed up. Don't spend too much time on it, just kind of do the best you can and get a lot of that fat off. So now that we got this roast all nice and trimmed up, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take some butcher string, and what we're gonna do with this is we're just gonna go ahead and wrap it around the outside of the roast. The idea here is just to kind of give it a nice round shape. What that's gonna do is it's gonna help with the presentation as well as just kind of help it with the cook. When it's kind of nice and symmetrical when it's cooking, it just kind of seems to cook a little bit better, a little bit more even. Perfect, we got that all nice and rounded up. So now we're gonna go ahead and add our spices. What I'm gonna be doing here today is just a nice simple salt, pepper, and garlic. I just find that these 3 spices just do really well with beef and it gives it a nice bark. But before we add those on there, I'm gonna go ahead and coat the outside here with a little bit of olive oil. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, then once we got the olive oil in there, then I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little bit of each of our 3 ingredients here. Start out here with a little bit of coarse ground black pepper. And we'll go ahead and grab some kosher salt here. And then finally, we're gonna go ahead and use some garlic powder. Awesome, so we got this roast all seasoned up. Now we're ready for the smoker. So let's talk a little bit about how I'm gonna be cooking this. I'm gonna be cooking this out in my Weber Smoky Mountain. I'm gonna be using apple wood today. Now, one thing that I like to caution on, and that's just more of a personal preference than anything, that this rib roast here has just got a ton of beef flavor already, and I don't wanna get too crazy with the smoke. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a lighter wood, either a fruit or maybe a hickory wood, and I'm just gonna go ahead and let that sit out in the smoke for a little while. I'm not gonna get too crazy with this. I don't want the smoke to overpower the beef flavor. Instead, I just want it to be a nice complement. From there, I'm gonna have a pit temperature of around 250 to 275 degrees. Now, this is a relatively small roast here, so it shouldn't take too long. My preference is a nice medium rare, so I'm probably gonna be looking at, around 120, 25-ish before I pull it off the grill. Once we pull it off the grill, then we'll go ahead and bring it inside, tend it with a little tin foil, just let it hang out for a little while. At that point, the temperature is going to continue to rise, so be sure to go ahead and pull that off just a little bit earlier than what you're thinking. This is a pretty simple cook. We're just going to go ahead and let it do its thing out on the grill, kind of rise up slowly, and we'll be eating before you know it. So with all that being said, let's go ahead, head out to the smoker, let's get that prepped, and we'll start cooking. This rib roast here took about an hour and 20 minutes to reach 125 degrees internal temp. From there, we brought it inside, wrapped it in tin foil, and just let it kind of hang out here for 10 to 15 minutes. From there, we went ahead and we started mixing up our au jus sauce. All we did there is we took our drippings from the cook, added that to a pan on the stove, and I went ahead and added a few onions and garlic there just to add a little more flavor. Since there wasn't a ton of drippings left, I went ahead and added about a cup of beef stock as well. Then we went ahead and let that simmer on medium heat while we waited for this roast to rest. And that's where we're at right now. I can't wait a whole lot longer here. This rib roast here smells fantastic, and I can't wait to cut it up. So the first thing we're gonna wanna do here is we're gonna want to remove that butcher string that we tied on here. Now that we got that removed, I'm gonna go ahead and carve this up. We got an excellent medium rare here, just the way I like it. We got a little bit of a smoke ring around the outside there. This wasn't on there very long, so there's not too much there. Look at all that moisture coming out. Man, that looks fantastic. Depending on who you're cooking for, there may be some people who prefer their meat to be cooked a little bit more. If that's the case, all you have to do is go ahead, you can cut them off a slice, toss it out on the grill, and bring that up to the right temperature that they're looking for. However, my preference is to have a medium rare, but I understand that not everyone likes their meat that way. So let's go ahead and move this over to our plate and let's try a slice. Go ahead and grab your au jus sauce you cooked up there. Do a quick little dunk. Yeah, that's terrific. Got a nice smoke flavor to it. You can still very well taste that ribeye meat coming out. That's exactly what we're looking for. It's got a ton of moisture left. It's super tender. I really like how this prime rib turned out. If you're looking for something to do here coming up for this holiday season, I definitely recommend doing a rib roast if you get the chance. If you're like me and one of your favorite parts about the holidays is all the good food, I think you should really try incorporating this roast into your holiday season. Thanks so much for hanging out with me here today. If you've enjoyed this cook, please consider hitting the thumbs up. I wish you and your family nothing but the best, and until the next time, I'll see you out at the grill. Take care, guys.